Hi, I'm Hayley from Parallel Coaching, and in this video I'm going to simplify the most confusing of all of the Level 2 Fitness Instructor Worksheet questions. Now this question is all about giving an example of duty of care for each of the special population groups. Now, we have 4 different special population groups that we explore at Level 2, so it's about understanding what our duty of care is as a fitness instructor and when do we overstep our mark. So we're going to break that down into simple steps so that you can really understand it. Now, the beauty of this is that you're not just going to be able to use this to help you pass your exam, but when you become a fitness instructor and you're out there with your clients, you know what your limitations are, you know how this relates to your insurance, you know how to work with these clients. And that's what we're going to look into today. This question is taken from the Active IQ Level 2 Fitness Instructor LAP. So LAP means Learner Achievement Portfolio. Now, if you're completing this with a different awarding body, this question may look different or be in a different type of format. So just make sure you change that around according to what you need to complete. So the question itself is asking, complete the table below. You will need to give one example of duty of care of each of the special population groups. Now, the special population groups are young people, older adults, pre- and postnatal women, and disabled people. So these are the special populations that we need to think about the duty of care with. And then alongside that on the columns, we've got duty of care and limitations of a fitness instructor. Now, it's still very vague as to what needs to be included in here. So this is where you're going to find this information really helpful. Now, duty of care is referring to the action that you as the fitness instructor need to take to make sure that you have responsibility and duty of care over those special populations. So this generally refers to telling that special population that you are not a specialist in that area. And the best way to write that is to literally write in these boxes, tell the individual that you are not a specialist within the area and that you'll be working within general guidelines and also basic guidelines for that special population. So that's the first thing that you need to consider that can go in kind of each of those boxes. The other thing is that young people in particular, a parent or a guardian needs to sign their screening form and their informed consent on the young person's behalf. So that's something really important to put in duty of care, and it's an action that you need to make sure happens. In relation to pre- and postnatal women, this again comes down to your own personal preference as well as to whether you want to work with those, but I would say always refer them onto a specialist and make it clear that you are not a specialist in this area. Obviously, all of these areas and special populations are people that have a certain level of risk associated, so you want to be really careful when working with them. And then in relation to disabled populations, this is about making sure you're comfortable with the adaptations, but again, staying within general health-related guidelines. You're not some rehab whiz at Level 2. It's a case of making sure you stay with basic health-related exercise. Column 2. Column 2 is about limitations of the fitness instructor, so of you. What are your limits? What can't you do? And again, really what it's asking for in this column is to make sure you're clear that you are not a specialist in this area. So in particular with young people, you want to say that you're not running specified classes for young people or working with them one-to-one, but more that you are able to cater for a 14 to 16-year-old within a group of adults, say in a circuit class, for example. Then, for example, you've got older adults. Now, for this one, this is going to be if they have problems in terms of they fail a PAR-Q, which obviously happens more and more as we get older, we end up with more conditions, then they need to be referred to a GP and work with an exercise referral specialist, and that we're not able to work with people that fail a PAR-Q at Level 2 only. Pre- and postnatal, again, don't advertise as a specialist in this area or run specialised groups. Instead, you want to make sure that you're just giving general advice and referring them on to somebody that can help them much better. And then finally, with the disabled populations, this is about understanding that they all have different needs and that there will be a limit to what you can offer. So do one-off sessions and work with the adaptations that you're comfortable with, but don't advertise as a rehab specialist for those specific disabilities until you have that qualification underneath your belt. the mark scheme. Now, there is one more thing you need to know before you go ahead and submit this, and that is that you need to consider the number of marks available. So if you look right at the very bottom of the question, you will see that there are 8 marks available in total, and there are 6 marks minimum that you need to get. Now that means you need to get 1 point across in each of the boxes. So although in these examples I've given you more than 1 point per box to be able to explore, you actually only need to write 1 point in order to make sure that you get those marks correct. However, I always recommend to learners that you can't harm by putting 2 bullet points in each box, just in case one of them isn't acceptable as an answer, but it means that you are more than covered to be able to make sure you get that minimum of 6 marks. And obviously, goes without saying, make sure you fill in all the boxes, don't leave any unfilled. As you are here, I'm guessing you are working towards your level 2 fitness instructor, and potentially a hurdle in that is preparing for the anatomy and physiology exam. So I've got a special download for you. All you've got to do is click the link and you'll be able to download 88 mock questions that will be able to help prepare you for that anatomy exam. Now, if you're also interested in learning a bit more in relation to anatomy, then watch the suggested video at the end of this video and you'll have a snapshot breakdown of all the things that you need to know for your anatomy and physiology exam. And it's actually a recorded live webinar that we did that was really successful. Lots of great responses on there. So go ahead, watch that and really soak up some extra information ready for that anatomy and physiology exam. If you like this video, make sure you hit the little thumbs up button, hit subscribe and also share with your friends. I would also love it if you pop a little comment below this video. You'll be able to read other comments that people have put in, but let us know how this was beneficial in the path to passing your level 2 fitness instructor qualification and really getting you on the road to become the best fitness instructor you can possibly be. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.